Welcome everybody. So, I haven't done this in a long time. Oh, the lock. I forgot. For some reason when you do this, you can't lock it, get sideways. I have no idea why, but for some reason you can't do that, so we're not gonna even try to do that. So, first of all, I know a lot of you, sorry, I'm doing this two-handed. I know a lot of you are going to be asking, where have you been? Why have you I've been doing this? The simple answer is, I was waiting on a new thumbnail. Oh, sorry, I should probably put it in the holster. The simple answer is, I was waiting, why is this not? The simple answer is I was waiting on a new thumbnail, and that new thumbnail was taking longer than I had imagined. I'm sorry. I know that's not really an excuse. I should not have been away for so long, but I was waiting on it. It happened for the live stream. So we are so far into the season that I'm just going to summarize mostly and give my thoughts. I will go in a little bit into spoiler territory, but next week I'm probably just going to skip right to the new season because we are at the end of the old one. So, starting with Heretical Last Boss. So, the plot of this show is that the main character is a young woman named Pride. Insert FMA references here. She gets reincarnated into her favorite video game, but the girl she's reincarnated as is psychotic, or was psychotic in her last life. Honestly, that's kind of what drew me into this show, is that in most of these shows, the villain that was reincarnated was mean. She was a bully. She picked on people. She, cock-blocked the main characters. But in this show, this girl was nuts. She enslaved one of the main characters by tricking him into signing a contract that basically said, "Now you are my bitch. I own you." She had people murdered. She relentlessly bullied, not even slightly, but relentlessly bullied the female lead. She was mostly responsible for most of the bloody ends in the game. And of course, Pride is like, oh my god, I don't want to be like this person. This person is horrible. So she makes efforts to fix the situation. It's not a bad show. It's an okay show. The problem with it, much like a lot of other things, is once you get the idea, you actually have to fill out the gaps. And with most of these shows, it's a lot of, in this case, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a lot of fighting, it's a lot of war, but there's not a lot of, it doesn't really go anywhere. It's better than a lot of the other shows this season, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And I think that's the problem with doing a manga or light novel that's not finished, is that you basically have to, you can only do up to the point that it's finished, and then you have to kind of, you either have to make stuff up, or you just kind of have to sit around and wait for it to be done. Also, because it's a light novel adaptation, that means the first volume is mostly exposition and setup. So the first season is just mostly going to be the expositional setup, and that's not interesting to me. We find out the names of the characters. We briefly, I don't even remember what else happens this series, to be honest. I'm trying to think if there's anything notable. Like, I know she changes the hearts of most of the people, but like, is there anything that I would say, ooh, you know, you gotta watch this series. This series, out of all the series that I've seen in this genre, this is the one. No. No, it's still Hamifura. Hamifura is the standard. Hamifura is great. I love it. It's awesome. So, next one. This one, I don't even know what happened to it. It's am I actually the strongest, but is it still going? Like, has it been on delay? I may have just, you know, fallen behind with it. I'm not really sure. So, the premise is that the main character gets reincarnated into the, into the video game world. Hijinks ensue. The notable thing about this is, for whatever reason, he likes to dress up as Zero from Code Geass. I don't know why. Maybe they made the same series. Maybe is June in this show? Because that would be funny if June was in this. I forget, but if June is in the show, that would be hilarious to have him interact with the character dressed as Zero. That would be funny. That would be really funny. I'm not sure. I don't remember whether June's in the show. I'll have to find out. His sister is cute though. Charlotte is adorable, and he gets Charlotte hooked on video games. Also, the other thing to note is that I like the fact that he's you know, kind of merciless to the people who hurt his family. Like, there's a scene early on where he's where he confronts people who tried to invade his kingdom, and they beg him for mercy, and he's just like, nope, and then he just sets them on fire. That was fun. I don't think there's anything substantial in this show. It's cute. I don't think there's anything that's substantial plot-wise. Other than the fact that he dresses as Zero for, like, no reason. Reborn is a vending machine I stopped watching because it's a novelty show. It's in the advertising. Main character gets reincarnated as a vending machine, and although I think the funny thing is that the vending machine, he dies because the vending machine falls on him. That was actually really funny. But it's basically an entire series of June just talking to himself. I love June. I love him. He's my favorite Seiyu. And notably, this is like the only lead role he's gotten so far, which is sad that the only lead role he's gotten this season is him playing a vending machine. Hi person, how you doing? Feel free to comment. Feel free to, oh, it's back to Zero. Okay, never mind. Bungo Stray Dogs 5. Okay. So, this show is simultaneously one of the best shows of the season and one of the worst shows I've seen in a long time. Like, the premise, you all know the premise of the detective agency and how Nakajima joins them, and he has like a tiger hand, and they all have shitty, stupid superpowers. But now we have vampires. I'm not joking. I'm not making that up. And then they'd introduce the hunting dogs, who I really liked, who I thought were really interesting. But now we have vampires. And like, I wish I were making up what I'm about to tell you. It's so stupid. Like, we have Bram Stoker, who is a vampire, who is like half a person. And like, they're trying to get his sword out of him. I'm sorry, it's so stupid. It's so idiotic. And like, he's turning everyone into vampires. Although I do have to admit, the idea of enslaving people by physically turning them to the vampires and making them do his bidding by like actually, you know, that's kind of a cool idea. I wish other shows would do that because that's kind of a novel concept. But it's really stupid. And but at least it's entertainingly stupid. It's fanficky trash, but at least it's like entertainingly fanficky trash. And like there's this one girl and she like develops a friendship with Bram. I don't know why. And like she's trying to pull the sword out of him and she ends up like doing it with the table. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. It's so dumb. And like this last episode, I spent the whole episode screaming at them because there was this one character named Sigma who I'm not sure what his deal is, but he like confronts the villain, and he keeps monologuing at the villain, and he's like, I wanna touch the villain and find out what the villain's, because his deal is that he can touch people and gain their memories. And I'm spending the whole episode going, just screaming at him because he's monologuing at the villain. And like, all you have to do is like reach over, grab his hand, and touch him. Just touch him. Reach over, grab his hand, touch him. And then the villain, who actually I kind of like Fyodor as a villain. I think he's kind of neat, but he is like, oh, I changed my mind, and I'm like, yeah, and I want to be friends with you, and I'm like, dude, this is a fucking trap. If you go near him, he will stab you, and of course he stabs him because these people are idiots. These people are dumb as hell. They're so dumb. They're so stupid. And then the same thing happened with with the Dazai, the character voiced by Mamoru Miyano, who I love to death. Who he's confronting his old teammate, and his teammate is under the control of the vampires. And Dazai, I believe, has the ability to revert anybody back to their original state. And I just kept screaming at him to grab him, grab his arm, grab his arm, grab his arm. He's literally just standing there pointing a gun at you, and all you have to do is just reach up, grab his arm, and he'll be fine. But no, he gets shot because people are stupid. I can't think of what else to say besides the fact that this show is dumb. This show is like really, really, really fucking dumb. It's fanficky trash, but it's hilariously stupid, and I love it to death. I don't usually use the term guilty pleasure, but this show is massively a guilty pleasure for me. Love and One Demon Lord, I stopped watching just because I lost interest. It's a novel concept. It's cute. The concept is that the main character was the Demon Lord, and he is beaten by the hero, so he goes to find the hero to challenge him to another fight, only to find out that the hero is a fat, lazy slob living as a recluse in his house, and he decides to whip the Demon Lord into shape. Only none of the episodes I saw actually have that concept. None of them are him whipping. Haven't watched anime in a while. Wanted to say hi. Hi! It's nice hearing you review things. Thank you, our precious. Thank you. At least I have one person in the chat, so that makes me happy. At least for the time being, I have one person in the chat. It's actually more than I've gotten in a while, so that gives me hope. Reign of the Seven Spellblades. That is really good. So, the concept of Reign of the Seven Spellblades is that the main character, Oliver, comes to this academy. He clicks with this group of people, including Shella, a young woman from America, Pete, who is a Reaver, and we'll get to that in a minute, Nanao, who was, I believe, a warrior in a past life, and now she has this curse where I'm not really sure how it works. There's a redheaded guy who looks like Yuji from what's it called? Baka and Test, but we don't really know I don't know anything about him. He's the only member of the group who hasn't gotten any actual, development, or nothing's happened to him. Most of it's on Pete and Nanao. I like them, don't be wrong. I just wish they'd do something with the redhead. So, Pete is special to me because this is the first anime where we've had gender fluidity rep. So Pete is a River-C, which basically means that he has the ability to switch genders whenever he wants. And I think, have you seen Ella? Yes, I have absolutely seen Ella the Boss. It's absolutely fantastic. Yes, it's really really good. Uh, it's absolutely fantastic. For Halloween, I'm trying to hand. Ooh, that's cute. Yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah, see that show. That show is really good. Yeah, that show is awesome. So Pete is, as I said, Pete is a River-C, which basically means that he, sorry, coat. Which means that he can switch genders at will, and I think he has the ability to control it. Or he develops the ability to control it, which is good because a lot of people are gonna scream. A lot of people are gonna scream because a lot of people are gonna scream transphobia. But the thing about gender fluid people is that they can choose. Don't apologize. I'm sipping on it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good for you. That's good for you. I tried a Monster recently. I tried the caramel one. That was really good. That was really really good. But I don't usually drink those. So, I like this show. I think it's really good. And the gimmick with Oliver is that, and the gimmick that drew me into this show in particular is that Oliver is actually coming to this school to get revenge on the people who murdered his mother. Although I have a sneaking suspicion there's way more to that story than they're letting on, because the headmaster doesn't seem like the headmaster doesn't seem like that bad a person. She doesn't seem like she just murdered somebody randomly. I have a feeling we're gonna find out that there's something that he doesn't know about his mother's murder. Like maybe she was secretly evil, or maybe they were trying to prevent something bad from happening. I don't know, but I have this sneaking suspicion that we don't know the whole story. But it is nice to see a magic story with a little bit more gravitas. And it's not written by a transphobe, so that point this show. So, Shadowverse Flame. Okay, so originally speaking, I was not going to watch this show. I was going to restart, but I've been watching. There's a caramel? Yeah, there's a salted caramel one. There's a salted caramel, no, there's a salted caramel monster. Yeah, it's actually really good. Being finally, yeah. Yes, exactly. It's really nice that they're adding different rap because we've gotten gay rap, we've gotten trans rap. I'm not sure if we've gotten NB rap in an anime yet. I think we have, but I don't remember if we've gotten NB rap in an anime yet. But I know we've gotten gay rap and we've gotten trans rap. And technically speaking, although the anime doesn't address it, in Spy Classroom, Klaus is apparently asexual, so we have ace rep in the manga. But in the anime, they don't address that, and that show was garbage anyway, so I don't really care. Well, I do care, but I don't care about that show, because that show was crap anyway. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about, we were talking about Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Shadowverse Flame, the seven something. So, Shadowverse Flame, I didn't watch the original Shadowverse for a very specific reason, is the story of a young man named Light, or Righto, who comes to an academy to learn how to do Shadowverse. And of course, he's a novice. He doesn't know what he's doing. He needs to be taught. But he meets, obviously highlights include Shion, who is the entire reason I watched this series, because Shion does not fight personally, she fights with an avatar, which is a giant talking rabbit. I'm not making that up. Her avatar is a giant talking rabbit. And he is voiced by Shotaro Morikubo, which is awesome. Which is, I saw his name in the credits. I'm like, what in the, yeah. So, he's the highlight. Also, they have these little cute little animals called Digifriends. They're really cute. I especially like the one. God, what's his name? Akumo, I think his name is. Oh my God, there's this one that's really adorable. And I like the characters. I like how they all have distinctive personalities. I like how Mikado is creepy, but he's not necessarily evil. He's the jaded the it shocked me. Yeah. What? I was like, what the? Yeah. Well, it's not physically her. It's the avatar that represents her. Cause Shion is really, really shy. Shion is really shy, and she has trouble with interacting with people. She's also really adorable, and I love her. She's super cute, but she has trouble interacting with people, so she can't. So she doesn't usually fight herself. She fights with an avatar, which seeing this little girl. Seeing a giant rabbit come out of this little girl's phone is actually really funny and really, really weird and really like what, like, okay, but it's entertaining. It's cute. It's your basic, beating the yeah, it is cute, and it's really weird, but it's really fun. And the ending, oh my God, the ending slays so much. That song has been stuck in my head for at least a month. Like, at least. That song is catchy as, oh my God. That's my favorite ending song of the season, and it's one of my favorite ending songs ever. Yeah, and I was like, okay, and it was confusing at first. I'm like, what in the, but then I heard his voice. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch this. So they're fighting this elite group of people, including Hikari, including one of the characters. His brother is a member. At least I think it's his brother. Yeah, his brother is a member of this group. Wolfram, who is voiced by Hikari Midorikawa, who I can only hear in Ikari Sensei whenever I hear his voice now. That's very funny watching Slayers, but that's really funny watching Slayers, but that's another thing entirely. So and an insane girl, a girl who I thought was like under their control or on some kind of drug, because she's like very quiet and she's very like monotone. But I've come to realize I just really hate monotone characters. I just really hate characters who talk like this, because it's really annoying, and it's like really, like, it doesn't make sense. I don't like characters without a personality. But that's just me. So they're fighting these people, and it's your personal dramas. The main character is trying to get Mikado to come out of his shell. Because of course Mikado lost to one of the seven shadows, and is now flipping his shit because he's never lost before, and he's kind of having an internal crisis, and the main character is following him around trying to get him to accept help, and he's like, nope. It's like no. So I'm interested to know where that goes next. The only thing I don't like is Rin. I hate Rin. She's so irritating. well, not all the speech. It's just the main. It's just this one girl. It's just the one girl in this show who's just like really monotone. And I thought maybe it was gonna turn out that the shadows were controlling her. Like, I was like, so are you being enslaved, or are you just like when it's monotone. Yeah, I don't like. That's actually what took me out of Classroom with the Elite, is because the main character was just like this, and I'm like, dude, right? Right? I like the idea of a main character who's kind of like kind of like, hi, other person. I like the idea of a main character who's kind of like you can't trust them. They're not good. Like they're not evil, but you know that they're up to something, and they like they're not they like to I like the idea of a character like him. I just don't like the fact that he's monotone. I found it irritating. I find it really, really annoying. But that's just me, personally. Anyway, Shadow First Flame is good. I really, really like it. There's nothing special about it necessarily. There's nothing like, ooh, you know, this is the most amazing thing ever. It's basically your basic love and friendship. It's basically your basic love and friendship anime, you know, about overcoming obstacles and, you know, card game anime. But it's good. It's fun. And I love the designs of the cards. That's the other draw for me. The cards look beautiful, and I love how intricate they are. They look fantastic. The cards themselves just look fantastic. That's the other thing that draws me. Although I really wish like the battles wouldn't last 2 episodes, because it gets very dull when the cards, when the battles, like, they start in episode 1, and then like they take the entirety of episode 2, and I hate that. I'm sorry. I just wish they limit the battles to 1 episode. It's the second person to speak. The second person speak. I hope they speak. Because I like you, but you know, I kind of trying to get more people into the chat, so I kind of wish that the second person would, you know, come into the chat, but it's okay. So, I stopped watching Genjutsu no Yohana the Perihelion, mostly because the problem with this show is that the issue with this show is that underneath it's just another idol anime. It's another idol anime with a new coat of paint, but it's just another idol anime. And I don't like idol anime. I find them dull. And I find them, you know, that, you know, I don't mind character-driven stories, but I find the idea, you know, that it's just, I like plot. I do. So, Hiragu Sky Precure, I have watched this whole show, and that should tell you something, because I got into the, about 30 minutes into, I hope one day your channel, yeah, well, this is basically the group discussion, honey. This is basically the group discussion. Y'all are free to keep chatting about anime, and you know, it's really nice. And I like to chat about anime, but I'm doing it as a live stream because I think it's more interesting that way, so that if people can butt in. I don't mind that. I'm just trying to keep it so that I at least get through the cup, you know. I'm sorry to keep if I interrupt you, but I at least want to get through the cup before this is over. So, Precure. Y'all know Precure at this point. Group of girls are given magical powers to fight evil. The draw of this show, well, actually there are a couple draws of this show. One, I like Ellie is super adorable. In this case, they're protecting the princess, who is, oh my god, the most precious thing ever. I thought Hina Ichigo from Frozen Maiden was the cutest anime character ever. I was wrong. Oh my god. Ellie is precious. Ellie blows all the other cute kids out of the water. She is adorable. And now she's a full-grown Precure because of fucking course she is, because they had to give the baby Precure pass. I mean, it's better than JoJo's where they gave it to a dog, and I'm like, that was weird. But she becomes an adult, which is hilarious, watching this little tiny baby grow into this full-grown adult. It's really funny. So the other draw, as you guys, I'm trying to remember which. This is Hiroger Sky Precure. And the other draw, if you guys have been watching this show, is there is a male cure. First time ever. And the thing is, when it was announced that it was Ayumu, I was like, oh, I choked on myself because I was like, oh. First of all, he's on my watch list. I have a list of like 3 seiyus who, if they're in it, I am way more inclined to watch it, and he's one of them. And I was like, oh. I fell over when I found out, because I've been asking for a while for them to have a male Precure, because Precures have always been females. So I was like, I wonder when they're gonna have a male Precure. I wonder when, I wonder how soon into the future they're gonna do a male cure. And now is the time. They're also doing a full stage play of just male Precures. But I don't think that counts. I want an anime. I want an anime of all male Precures. And now they're also doing a sequel to an older show, which I should watch because I need to catch up, that is going to be all adult Precures, which is awesome. And what's nice about it is that it's going to be short. It's going to be shorter because these are normally like 50 episodes, and it's long. It's really long. I'm looking into them. Yeah, you should definitely watch it at some point. It's really good. I really, 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 really like it. And at this point, like I said, they've been through. You know the villains rotate. Like, first they had the hippo. The hippo was life. The hippo was just such a mood, and it was awesome. So then they had what I can only describe as a pretty boy, and he was my favorite because he was fun, because he was just kind of this narcissistic psycho. And if you guys know me, you know that is my favorite type of anime villain. The narcissistic pretty boy psycho is my favorite type of villain in an anime. So I was like, he's fun, and he's voiced by Ken, who I haven't heard in a long time. And now we have a giant hulking bull, and what I like is that, we've gotten hints through the series that something, that they're not evil. They're not evil. They're villains, but at one point the pretty boy mentions in his dialogue with the Precures that he was fine. He was a normal person until, and we see that he or somebody shattered the mural, and my bet is that he made that mural, and him shattering and nosediving him into despair is what turned him into the henchman. I think that the villains, I think that the henchmen are, because in previous installments, before the last couple, what would happen is the villains would take normal humans and turn them into the monster of the week. And I think that's what's happening here. I love that concept. I love the fact that they're taking normal villains, normal henchmen, and just turning them into the villains. And we're gonna see Pretty Boy again, although from the previews he looks completely different. So I'm guessing they purify them, and when they purify them, villain arc, yeah, well, not really arcs so much as nuanced villains than we've been getting, like, so far. Which I think is a really novel concept. I like nuance, and I like the fact that, this series doesn't just make... Yeah, nuanced villains. So... And like I said, it's good when I'm 30 episodes in and I have watched every single... Well, except for, like, one. But that's just because occasional... That's just because the show is getting to the point where it's like, yeah, it's the same thing, mostly. Dark Gathering. Dark Gathering is the story of a young man who takes on a student who can see dark spirits. My problem with this show is that after the first couple episodes, the novelty just wears off really quick. And it's like they're not... And she wants to find the ghost who kidnapped her mother, which I think is really, really cool. But that's mostly it. It's okay, but like watching him get scared pissless for the 15th time is just, oh, hi, you left. Okay. You left. Okay. Okay. Well, at least we had somebody. It's not interesting. Undead Girl and Murder Frost I need to catch up on, so that's probably going to be part of next season's roster, because Ayaka! The most notable thing about Ayaka is that it is made by the same people who made K, and that it has pretty art. Male main character goes back to this island, where he discovers that he is like some kind of water spirit. There are other people there. Kay was more interesting. Kay had, the factions and the fact that they're trying to avenge their king, who, oh, hi again. Kay trying to avenge their king, and that was much more interesting than what we got here. Oh, okay, so it's flickering. Hero Classroom. Main character's cute. Main character is the hero. It's another main character was the hero, but now he's trying to hide his powers from people. He does a bad job of it because they find out anyway. But he is the main character who's trying to hide his powers from people, and he goes to this classroom, and I dropped this series in the episode where they made fun of the Emil lead for being fat, for getting fat. And that's about it for this series, because I am not interested in that series anymore. Synduality Noir. I'm not even sure where this series stands at this point, because the idea of Synduality Noir is interesting, but the problem is that it's one of those shows where I have a feeling it's not going to tell you anything until the last, 3 episodes. Because the idea is that the main character, they fight in mechs, they find a girl. The girl has no memory. She doesn't know what she is, and she's like the Rei Ayanami type of, quiet and, quiet robot. So they have to take the girl, and they have to find out what is going on with her. It's standard. It's not terrible, but it's standard. Helk is the story of a young man who is a human being roped into a demon contest, and the people running the contest are desperately trying to prevent him from winning. We're not really sure why, but they go to hilarious lengths to prevent him from winning. And so season 2 looks like it's going to get a lot darker, and I am looking forward to, because I kind of dropped off season 1. Oh, 2 people, okay. I kind of dropped off season 1, but I'm going to come back to it in season 2. So, last one is, actually no, I'll talk about Undead Girl Murder first. Or I'll at least talk about the first arc, because I haven't caught up with the other arcs. Liar Liar is the story of a, oh, what are you talking about? Because okay, so, I'm not really going to backtrack too much, but basically we are having an anime chat, and I have been going through my shows this season that I am watching. So, to summarize really quickly, because I'm not going to go through this whole, Helk is funny, Cinderella Noir is boring, Dark Gathering is boring, Bunga Stray Dogs is really hilarious fanfiction trash, Reign of the Seven Spell Braids is a really, really, really good Harry Potter inspired magic series. Am I Actually the Strongest? I'm not sure if I'm going to keep watching that. Heretical Last Boss is a good idea that didn't go anywhere. And now we are talking about Liar Liar. Because Liar Liar is the story of a young man named Hiruto, and he comes to this school, and it's kind of No Game No Life inspired school where they play games in order to gain stars, and the higher your rank, the more stars you can get and the better you are, and his goal is to get to the top of the list. Initially, it's more along the lines of he is trying to hide the fact that he has no stars, and he doesn't want people to know that. But as it goes on, it becomes more like a generic action series. The games are okay. I love the character art. I think it looks really, really, really pretty. I don't necessarily love the show. It's not great. It's not horrible. I don't think it's trash like a lot of other people say it is. But I've seen better. Also, it should be noted that Jun Fukuyama is in the series, and I forgot he was there, because he just kind of disappears into the background, and you don't see him again until like episode 11. So I forgot, and I didn't know his first name because I didn't remember what it was. So when they announced that someone his name, when they gave the character a first name and a last name in one of the lists, I was like, oh, he has a sister, but no, that's actually him. So that should tell you how forgettable these characters are. Also, I don't know half these people's names. It's not terrible. It's a good idea. And I kind of like the villain. The villain looks like, oh god, what was his name? The friend character from Rewrite, which I haven't watched yet. The gray-haired one from Rewrite. That's who he looks like. And not finally, because but it's certainly one of the better shows this season. It's not great. It's not terrible. And finally, Undead Girl Murder Farce. I need to catch up with the rest of the show, but the first season, the first arc is the main character is a young man whose name I now forget, but he's cursed. He was cursed by his mentor, by a man with a specific ring, and hi Leah. He's cursed by a man with a specific ring. Maybe it's... Oh, hi. He's cursed by a man with a specific ring, and he is sent to, and he is working for, I'm good, Leah. So, the main character of Undead Girl Murder Farce is a man who's cursed by a older man with a specific ring, or at least he's involved somehow in that curse. and he is sent to, he works at a circus, and he one day discovers this young lady who is, I'm not really, as the show specifies specifically that she's a Dullahan, but she, her head is in a cage, and she is looking for her body. So they, accompanied with her maid, they basically go around and they solve mysteries. The first one, with a supernatural twist, the first one is they go to this village. They're called to this village to help maintain peace between the vampires and the humans. And the wife, or a woman, is murdered, and one of the suspects the suspects are the people in the house. And what I really, 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 really love about this series is this series goes in depth with the investigation. She in depth with the investigation. She talks to everybody. She explains thoroughly why this person couldn't have done it, but then the murder had to go here, and then the murder, couldn't have been in this person. So it's so cool, and I love the fact that when the culprit is caught, when they find out who it is, because he doesn't like the fact that the mother was trying to encourage relations between vampires and humans. He thinks they should stay separate, so he murdered her for it. And they kill him. They straight up murder him. And not only do they straight up murder him, but we don't see it, but I have a feeling, but it's clearly implied to be brutal, and I love that. And I love the fact that the matriarch, the patriarch of the family, he knew this had to happen. He knew that his son was dangerous. So he's not even mad. He's not even upset with the fact that that he was murdered. He's sad, but he's not even upset. But he's not angry with them. Okay, because in most shows, I haven't gotten to arc 2 yet, but if that first arc was any indication, I'm gonna enjoy the show very, very, very much. I don't like the opening though, and that's sad, because I like classy, but I don't think they're good at Japanese, and I don't think it works. And I don't think the opening fits the tone of the show. But, yeah, that's it for this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to, should I do all of the shows I'm watching outside? To the person watching, do you want me to run down the shows that I am watching that are not? Hi! Do you want me to run down the shows that I'm watching that are not? Because I know y'all keep coming up, and I know you guys keep missing I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. I can't diet because my work doesn't allow it, so live with it. Well, too bad for you. I can't diet because my work won't allow it. I would diet brighter colors. But my work doesn't allow it. So, I will take that as a no. I will take that as you do not want me to run down the shows that I'm watching that are not related to and you disappeared anyway, so I don't really care. So I'm trying to decide, do I run down the shows that are related to hey, at least I'm getting more people. So, thank you, people. At least you're stopping by for more than a minute. So, that makes me feel better that I'm actually getting, actual chat, Granted, most of it is more for not more than 30 seconds, but it makes me feel better to know that I actually have, some people who have been watching me. So, thank you very much. To the person watching right now, do you want, okay. Do you want me to run down the shows that I'm watching that are not part of this bucket? Because I know y'all keep coming in, and I know some of you probably want to see me talk about something because, I'm not going to go back through the bucket. I'm not going to go back through the list. Y'all should, I would recommend that you get here when I start so that y'all can see what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to go back through it. But what I can do, if you guys want me to, is I can talk about the shows that I am, hi, MD on. Hello. So you missed the main course. You missed the actual bucket, the actual mug. But if you want, I can talk about the shows that I am watching that are not in the bucket, because I am watching, because this is specifically about the season, but I'm watching some shows off season. So if you want me to, I can talk about some shows that are off season. So I'll give y'all a minute to decide this. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't speak whatever language you speak in Bangladesh, but that's really cool. That's really cool. Hi. Okay, so for those of you who have missed the bucket, because as I said, I'm not going to be going back through this because I think that I don't want to repeat myself a million times. But let me think. I'm watching Slayers. Slayers is fun. Slayers is the story of a young woman named Lena who is really annoying, but that's another side story. And she meets this young man named Gowry who is way too nice for her. Reply. What do you mean reply you? I'm replying to you. I'm on a stream. I'm on phone, guys, so I can't type responses. But hi, this is me responding to you if that's what you mean. So so she meets this young man named Gowry, and they are approached by quite possibly one of my favorite anime characters ever, because Zogatis is basically looking for a way to cure his what is your name? I'm Sheridan. Hi. Is basically looking for a way to clear his affliction, because a sorcerer turned him into a half golem, basically, and he's trying to look for a way. So this message is out for review. Nope. Nope. Not that one. Nope. Not having that on the chat. No. You can fuck off with that. But anyway, he is looking for a way to cure his, and they are trying to locate, I forget if it was a book or some kind of, okay, I have no idea what that means. But they are looking for a, hi mama. They're looking for a way to cure his affliction, and he hates them. Okay? Oh, yeah, because of that thing. Yeah. So, guys, just so you know, messages are health messages which contain bigotry or racism or held for review. And so generally speaking, if I see you're being racist in your message, I'm just going to delete it. So please don't even try. Please don't even try with that, because I'm just going to delete it. I don't play that. I don't deal with that crap. So don't even, just don't. But anyway, so, at this point, we're not very far into it, but, I wish he were the main character because he's just much more interesting. I like the idea of having to find a way to get rid of this, and as far as I know, he doesn't. As far as I know, he never finds a way to cure this affliction. But, I'm also watching Lost Universe made with the same person, and somebody, I think whoever... And what's funny is, they're basically the same characters. Like, the main character is basically a gender-swapped Lena. And it's a space crew who is traveling the tree, being stupid. His maid, who is voiced by Megumi Hayashibara, is and a gender-swapped Gowry, who is basically Megumi Hayashibara's character in Lost Universe. The girl who played Martina, who I hate, who I think is a hard person, Tina, who I hate, who I think is a horrible person, is now playing I think she's a reporter or some kind of agent, I'm not really sure, named Millie, who joins their crew and is just a complete ditz. Zell is now Rail, who is the captain of the space patrol force, and his assistant is the girl who played Millie. His assistant is the girl who played Amelia, who we have not met in the original Slayers yet, but she is openly in love with him. And I am convinced that the author basically did that because he wanted to satisfy people who ship Zell and Amelia. Because everybody ships them. Everybody knows it's clear they like each other. But their hijinks ensue. They're all stupid and it's fun. And in the episode we're at now, they did the cross-dressing thing, but, like, Kane is really bad at it, and he, like, doesn't even try to hide the fact that he's male. He doesn't even pitch his voice. So I find it funny that nobody on the crew, and what doesn't make sense is that it's never really clear what they're trying to hide. Like, is it just, like, these sabotages never really get solved, or is it, like, I don't know. So I'm watching those. I'm watching what I like to call the Gaku no Mikomo 3, which is basically Gentai no Shoka, which is the story of a young man named Huey who comes to work for a horrible, horrible, nasty child named Dalian, who basically embodies, like, you know how in Familiar Zero, Louise was just nasty and abusive and awful? Well, Dalian is the same way, and they solve mysteries involving tomes, although most of the mysteries don't really make any sense, because the thing about most of the mysteries is it's never clear what they're trying. Like, there's one where they go to this house and somebody is murdering people, and they find out that it's this woman whose family is, like, cursed, but we never really find out how the tome fits, like, how the tome fits into it. We never really find out, like, how does it fit? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how is it because, like, she's using the tome for protection? Is it doing her dirty? I don't know. My favorite one was the one with the plant, because the idea that the book would actually be its leaves was actually kind of clever. But most of it is just really, like, disjointed and really disconnected. And, we also meet this other pair who, the way he pulls her book out is honestly really disturbing, and I'm surprised this series never addresses that. Like, she's in pain when he does this, and she's also in a straitjacket for most of the series, so But we never get to see them because they're far more interesting. So of course we're stuck with the two, the loud one and her companion who, yeah. I don't like it, basically. I also don't like Elsa crying, because Elsa crying is another one where it feels very disjointed, where it feels like they're just, like the main character, he gets hold of this briefcase which somehow contains a mech, but I don't know how. I have no idea how it contains a mech. And somehow everybody's fighting over it, and now we have a Loli whose sister is like being hunted by demons. Although that scene of them killing the dude was actually pretty brutal, but it's so disjointed and it doesn't make a lot of sense. My favorite of the three is Strike the Blood, because Strike the Blood reminds me a lot of NTEX. The main character was turned into a vampire before the start of the series, and he meets this girl who, the Mikasa stand-in, who is been assigned to protect him, and to watch him and make sure he doesn't go out of control. And they meet a bunch of people, and they solve a bunch of cases involving supernatural. I just really, really love Akatsuki, and I love how he's just, how he has a little bit more personality than most characters I've seen in these shows. And at this point, they're trying to, there's also, although my favorite is the vampire lord who has a crush on the girl who he has a crush on the girl who he had feelings for the girl who came before Akatsuki, who was the vampire who was the progenitor before him. So now he just inexplicably has feelings for. It's so funny. But yeah, that show is, I like it. It's stupid, but it's fun. A lot of Gaku and Mikima shows, basically, they have plot, but their plots are kind of split into arcs, so it's hard to explain thoroughly. Especially considering, with Asura Crying and Dentelia no Shoka, everything's kind of disjointed. Everything, doesn't really make any sense. So, there's that. There's Star Driver, where the main character washes up on an island, and the island houses a school, and the school, they fight with mechs, obviously. The mechs look really cool. They all look like Evangelion. They all look like they all look like Evas. And I love the designs, and I like the fact that each mech comes with an ability. So, first phase abilities, basically, they can vary from person to person. One girl has the ability to enslave guys by kissing them. One girl has the ability to, make herself look younger. One girl has, and they're all very distinctive, and they're all very interesting. My big gripe with this series is that the villains, they don't really have a plan. We spend a lot of time with the villains kind of sitting around talking about breaking these seals, but we don't know why. We have, I have no idea why the villains are trying to do any of this. And it's really telling that the most of the villains, also the fact that they wear masks, but you can clearly tell who they are. I actually found that really funny, because I spend most of the series screaming at them, just take off the masks! Just take them off! You don't need them! You don't need the fucking masks! You don't need... you don't need them! We know every single person. Granted, I might not know their name, Also, there's the trope of the high schooler who's like married to a 60-year-old dude for some reason, and nobody questions it. Nobody questions why a high schooler is married to an old man. It's okay. And like it's okay. It's really weird. So we also know that one of the maidens is in a cage because like this is the second time because this, I don't know which came first, but I don't know whether this copied SAO or the other way around, but like, guys, stop putting girls in cages. It's weird. So there's that. There's the fact that I like the designs, I like the characters. I just wish the villains would actually get to the point already, because we're on episode 6 and nothing. It's not even that nothing has happened. It's that it's not even that nothing has happened. It's that I just want the series to get on with it and just explain why the villains. I actually know why, because I read ahead, but I just want the series to explain it. I shouldn't have to read ahead in order to, find out. And finally, I'm rewatching Back Arrow because I don't even know what this show, like, the main character, again, he ends up in this village, and it kind of reminds me of Avatar, actually. I know it sounds weird, but it actually kind of reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because he ends up in this village, and the village is attacked by the bad guys, and the main character, and they want to get rid of him, but then they decide to and there's like, and I love the fact that I do like the fact that the mech designs, they make the person into the mech. So basically, you put it on your wrist, and you physically become the mech. And I like the fact that the mech tailors itself to each person. So the little one, Alsha, her mech is smaller than the bigger characters, and they each have distinctive designs. Hers looks like a bunny. So I love that. I do love that fact. I love the fact that each of the mechs are tailor-made to the person wearing it. And if you put it on, and if you find one and you put it on, it's gonna look different than than if the person next to you puts on the same one. I love that. I think that's very distinctive. But other than that, it's weird. I don't know. I'm watching it for a second time, but I still don't know whether I like it or not, because it's so weird, and it's so like weird. It's insane. It's very odd. So that is there anything I missed? No, there's nothing I missed. No, there's nothing I missed. Thank y'all for for those of you who came out and who watched a little bit. Thank you very much. It helps me tremendously. Thank you. Please consider, staying for the whole stream next time, because I like to engage with people. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I will see you next week or the week after, because I'm probably going to next week is just going to be the superlatives, like best, worst, best character, worst character. Oh, I am watching Pokemon Horizons. It is okay. And it's getting interesting because they've now found this very, very cool looking flaming bird Pokemon, which, also, the villain has decided to fuck my bosses. I'm just gonna go rogue, and I'm gonna do whatever I want, and I like that, and I find it interesting. Also, he has quite possibly the coolest Pokemon I've ever seen. Oh my god, I love Soul Blaze. Soul Blaze looks absolutely phenomenal. So there's that, and I like how the ending, each member of the Volteckers gets their own ending. I think that's really cool. But there's that. Is there anything else? I just wish Liko would be Also, please stop bitching about how Ash isn't here anymore. Ash was the thing. Now it's Liko's turn to be in the spotlight. And I like her. I don't dislike her. I'm not really crazy about the fact that nothing is really not a lot has happened yet, but there's that. Oh God, is there anything else? No, I don't think there's anything else. So I will see y'all next week with these superlatives.